Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to predict Palantir stock. I am a swing investor. I will not consider the price change of a stock in a month. This channel only makes short-term price predictions for stocks, usually 1 week to 3 weeks. Welcome to subscribe to this channel. Palantir stock has not changed much in the past 2 days. Technically, the stock is currently tending to consolidate at a high level. Nvidia's revenue and profit in the first quarter exceeded expectations, and its stock price rose by more than 5% in pre-market trading on Thursday. Palantir's stock price also seems to be affected by this, rising 2% in pre-market trading on Thursday, which indicates that the stock may break through the consolidation area and rise further. But this does not mean that the stock can maintain its upward trend. The recent correction of the stock did not cause the stock price to fall too much, but the willingness of bulls to push up the stock price has obviously decreased, which means that the stock is currently facing a certain correction pressure. The stock has accumulated a large number of profitable positions in the low area, and the signal of capital selling is still very obvious in the past 2 weeks. Although the bulls are still trying to maintain the stock price, the risk of a sharp correction in the stock price still exists. Through the 30-minute chart of the stock, we can see that on May 13th, the stock rose in large volume, and then the stock price began to enter a correction trend at $133.40. Although the stock price did not fall sharply, the signal of capital selling is still very obvious, and some funds should have flowed out of the market here. The stock experienced a wave of selling on May 27th, and it seemed that some funds flowed out of the market again, but the stock price did not fall further afterwards, indicating that the bulls are still trying to maintain the stock price, but some capital chose to exit the market in order to avoid the risk of stock price correction. The data shows that the amount of capital outflow of the stock in the past 5 days is significantly higher than the amount of inflow. Although the stock price remains at a certain height, this still sends a negative signal. The profit-making capital that entered the market at a low level before may be slowly exiting the market with the help of the market's buying enthusiasm. Through the position distribution data of the stock, we can see that in the past 2 weeks, the position volume of the stock in the $120.50 to $132.30 area has increased significantly, which may be a signal of capital selling, which is consistent with the previous analysis. The current price of the stock is at the lower end of this area, which is still unfavorable for bulls. If the stock price rebounds again, the stock will still face certain resistance. The position volume of the stock below $120 has also decreased significantly in the past 2 weeks. Although a part of it is still retained, it still reflects that part of the long capital that entered the market at a low level has exited the market. The significant upward movement of the stock's position means that the risk of a sharp correction of the stock has increased. Once the stock price falls below the $120 level, the stock may slide to the $112.50 level. Nvidia released its first quarter financial report after the market on Wednesday, with revenue exceeding expectations, but adjusted earnings per share were lower than expected due to the ban on the sale of H20 chips to China. The company also said that it expects to lose about $8 billion in sales of H20 chips in the second quarter. Nvidia is currently developing an improved version of H20 to meet the performance requirements of the Trump administration. Nvidia stock has a profit margin of more than 50% compared to the lowest price in April, which means that Nvidia stock is also facing correction pressure. If the stock price rises further, the stock may face a frenzy of selling by profit-taking capital, forcing the stock price to fall sharply after a surge. On Wednesday night, the U.S. International Trade Court ruled that Trump's imposition of reciprocal tariffs exceeded his authority. The court ordered the revocation of the challenged tariff order, but the Trump administration has appealed the court's ruling. This news may temporarily ease investors' nervousness, but there is still great uncertainty about the future of trade issues between the United States and other countries. Tariffs are the most effective tool for the Trump administration to solve the unfair trade practices, huge trade deficits, and fentanyl problems between the United States and other countries. So the Trump administration is unlikely to compromise. Let's take a look at the ratings of Palantir stocks by Wall Street analysts. In the past 3 months, 12 analysts have rated the stock. Palantir's overall rating is hold. Among them, buy ratings account for only 25%, hold ratings account for 41.6%, and sell ratings account for 33.3%. The average price target for Palantir stock given by these analysts is $100.90, with a high price target of $150 and a low price target of $40. This reflects the cautious attitude of Wall Street analysts towards the stock. Let's go back to the daily chart of the stock. Nvidia's mixed quarterly results may boost the entire stock market, but this is short-term and the stock is unlikely to be continuously affected by Nvidia's price fluctuations. Since Palantir stock has a large fan base, it is not easy for short sellers to significantly lower the stock price. But the price performance of the stock in the last 2 weeks shows that the market is becoming more and more cautious and capital may be slowly flowing out of the market, which means that the stock may enter a correction or downtrend after forming a double top structure. I am currently bearish on the stock, and I think there is a lot of risk in the bullish trade above $120. Although the stock may rise next, I doubt whether the stock price can break through the $133.40 level. I think there is a high probability that the stock will fall below $120, so I set the target price of the stock at around $112.50. Of course, this price may not be the best entry point. If the market sells off severely, it is possible to fall below this price. Okay, guys, this is my price forecast for Palantir stock. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my analysis, please share and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video.